You know, there's this myth about autism that's been in place for decades that people on the autism spectrum, they can't change. They are hardwired and they're just never going to have empathy. And there's no way that they can learn social skills or cultivate some emotional empathy. Okay, well, if that's your belief, you've been bold-faced lied to. There's this little thing called neuroplasticity. And even people on the autism spectrum can take advantage of that. Neuroplasticity, as many of you know, is you learn something new and you develop new neural pathways to accommodate the new learning. And so that would include golf, flying an airplane, playing the piano, developing some social skills, cultivating some emotional literacy. Yeah, it's all the same thing to the brain. A lot of NTYs ask me, well, is there any hope? Is there any hope? They're looking for hope. Well, to the NTYs that may be watching, your help doesn't help much. In fact, in too many cases, it hurts. I'm not saying you did anything wrong. Your heart was in the right place. And for the ASD husband, self-help strategies don't work. So he needs to find somebody who has some expertise in ASD, preferably a male. So yes, there's hope to develop some social skills and emotional literacy in the context of your neurodiverse marriage if he seeks outside assistance from somebody who knows what the hell they're talking about. I'm not talking about love languages and I feel statements. Forget that. Now, having said that, I don't want to offer you false hope. So to the NTYs, you're way up here with social and emotional intelligence, skills and needs. And currently he's probably down here, very high in logical intelligence and general IQ, maybe smarter than me. So if you think that, okay, well, if he takes advantage of neuroplasticity, develops some new neural pathways, he'll be able to match me way up here. No, that's not going to happen. But if you reduce your expectations some, and he will get busy learning some social skills, you can barely meet in the middle. That's way better than what you've been getting up until this point. So as a first step to the ASD individuals out there, you would want to develop an emotions vocabulary. In other words, look at the primary emotions and then look at the subtle nuances involved within each emotion. Let's use anger as an example. Anger is a broad term, but anger, as well as all other emotions, are on a spectrum. Way over here on the anger continuum, we would have maybe mild frustration. Way over here, we could have blind rage. So each emotion has variability with respect to intensity. So the first step would be to look at the primary emotions and look at the secondary emotions that fall within the wide spectrum of each individual emotion. That sounds vague, but that's at least a place to start. If you are in a neurodiverse marriage where one spouse is autistic and the other one is not, and you've been struggling for years and years, and you're kind of sick and tired of the routine, talk to me. Use me as your personal coach. I have groups, and I keep these groups small so that you can get a lot of one-on-one attention. I have 3 Q&A groups, one for ASD husbands, one for neurotypical wives, and I have a couples group where both spouses can attend. I also have 2 instructional groups, Cassandra Syndrome Recovery Group to help you cultivate some strategies to recover from years of emotional deprivation, and the Men's Masterclass, in which we take a deep dive on developing social skills and emotional literacy in the context of the neurodiverse marriage. We meet 1 hour a week for 4 weeks. So how much longer are you willing to wait? Would you like to schedule a paid private coaching session? This will be in the form of a face-to-face Zoom call. Underneath any of my videos, you'll see this Calendly link. If you click on that link, it'll open up my calendar. You can pick the available days and times that works for your schedule. You'll get a follow-up email immediately after purchasing a session that will have the Zoom link that coincides with the day and time that you picked. I will get an email too that you scheduled a session, and I will be available on that exact day and time, and we will talk. I look forward to working with you.